Monday, November 6th, and all I can tell you is that the fork in the road is here. What's the old saying? When you get to the fork in the road, take it. Well, here it is for the 49ers, and down one path is the Super Bowl. Down another path is bust. And it's that clear. It's Super Bowl or bust for the San Francisco 49ers, and they've got a second half that is about to be theirs to show us what they're going to do with the remainder of this season. Welcome back. It is so good to be with you once again here on YouTube. It was even better to be in person with so many of you yesterday at PL Mania 2 Electric Boogaloo at Victory Hall. Thanks to everyone at Victory Hall for making us so welcome. It was... I even said to the video that we had rolling yesterday, when I originally heard that, you can build an audience in a lot of places, but you can't build a community anywhere else like you can build it on YouTube, my eyes would roll. I'd be like, whatever. Come on, what are you selling cookies over here? Come on, what are you talking about? It's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. Jillian and I had such a wonderful time with so many of you yesterday. Thanks for coming out. What was great was, other than PL Mania 1, which is where we got to meet so many people for the first time, now you had a little bit of recognition kicking in, and without Jack and Ozzy there, we actually got a real chance to talk with everyone, and I hope we certainly did. It feels like I peeled off for a conversation at one point and another with every single person in that room, and everyone was nice enough to tell me what this show and this channel meant to them. I hope I communicated to you all what you mean to me, what you mean to Jillian, what you mean to Larry Kruger, who showed up yesterday with his beautiful wife, Amy, and hung out for a while. You mean an awful lot to us, and I can't thank you enough. I'm pretty sure by the end I was getting a little faded myself. I think I called AJ Cruz Ernie on the way out. I'm like, take care, Ernie. He looked at me a little funny, and I'm like, I think I got that wrong as soon as I said it. I think we had 4 Ernies there yesterday, though. Like, it was a disproportionate ratio of Ernies to humans. I mean, you got to go into basically the Sesame Street backup puppet room to find that many Ernies in one place. And what was also really cool was a whole bunch of people showed up whose names don't often appear in the chat. They say they listen to the podcast only for the most part and don't really participate because they're working or they're busy in the actual chat that's going on. And that's how I got to know a lot of people's names, or certainly nom de plumes on YouTube. And there were 3-4 guys who came up to me yesterday and said, I wasn't here for the first PL Mania. You don't see me in the chat room, but I just want to let you know that I'm watching and I'm enjoying it. And thank you. I mean, thank you all so very much. I mean, we got Getting Loose in the Plus and Oi 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 and Send It In Jerome stickers from the postman in Capitola. Oi Oi Oi! Who, believe it or not, his given Christian name is not the postman in Capitola. But don't let this t-shirt fool you, because he's giving away You Can Be Postman in Capitola t-shirts as well with Oi 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 plus on the back. I mean, people came in with gifts and presents. And obviously, Chef A came in with the brittle, and it was delicious. We had people coming in with coffee. Erwin, thank you very much for the coffee. Smiley Dan, we got to meet Smiley Dan. He comes in with I got to turn around how to do this. I'd be a lousy weatherman. This fish sticker from Fish's Run at Chase Center a couple of years back. He's got a magnet that he brought me. But there is one man who truly won the gifting contest. Not that it was a contest, not that we were counting on anyone bringing anything. We didn't want anyone but people's personalities in the room. And that's all we ever want. But people brought an awful lot of nice stuff, gifts to bear. And then there's JJ Raider. JJ Raider, I'm not going to put you out on Front Street, but just so everyone knows, from now on, this will be known as the JJ Ganja Jar. We have used high-tech technology to rebrand the Ganja Jar, which used to have no sponsorship at all, to now this is JJ Ganja. Now, if you're not tired with the Raiders, JJ, might I even suggest you change your name to JJ Ganja. But JJ, my man. Seriously, Thank you all to everyone who came out. Half a pound of weed brought to me or not. It was an incredible, incredible chance to get to know you all better, for you to get to know each other better. And it was great. It really was. We're going to get into the chat. Obviously, we're going to have a fun Club Plus today, but we're all here to talk sports, and we got some sports to talk about. So we're going to hop into that. And then I tell you, I don't want an awful lot of the chat to go by without me being able to acknowledge it. So maybe hold on for a little bit before I get in there and be able to say thank you to so many of you. Oh, good. I did see R.I.P. Cougar Rebel made it home. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel is stumbled out of there yesterday. My man. I'm glad you made it home. It was an awful lot of fun. Awful lot of fun yesterday. And an official Otis Bird III, our fearless leader, did show. It was great to finally meet him. It was great to meet True Blue Forever again. It was great to see just so many people. Stacy brought her son Miles, who was an Eagles fan. We didn't have any Eagles-Cowboys fights going on in the bar. That was good, but it was a hell of a game. We had just all kinds of people yesterday. Smiley Dan. I mean, I could say here, not talk sports with you all day and just say Rockin' New Era brought a lot of Razor Ramon energy to the party. I mean, a lot of Razor Ramon energy to the party. John said, Damon, how's the Spilkis? Thank you. It's getting better. It is absolutely getting better by the moment, by the day. Thank you to Baron Red. Said, I remember meeting you all this time. Well, it's because my mom wasn't there distracting you, Baron. Uh-huh. And it was absolutely awesome. Plus Mania 2 was awesome. Chef A, you are awesome. You really are. If I were a Jewish lesbian chef, I would be Chef A. And if Chef A were a sports talk host, she'd be me. That's like my spirit sister right there. It was awesome seeing so many of you. And we'll get into more of the greetings and salutations and love that is just going all over the place. There he is. Look at JJ Ganja Jar. JJ Raider, JJ Ganja Jar. Hey, you can't spell ganja without J. Yeah, at least one J, right? Is that there's a J? Yeah, there's a J in there. Yeah, there's a J in there. Oh my goodness. Look at all the love. And we got people already committed. Man, I'm going to make it to the next one. Look, we're already circling like NBA All-Star break is a possible next one get together. We had Uncle Boys come on through. It was awesome. It was so awesome. Old Dirty Hungus knows what's up, doing the Lord's work. JJ Ganja. That's my guy. Anyways, let's get into some sports, and then let's get in to my man Postman and Capitola. All you guys. It was so wonderful meeting you yesterday. There's really something happening. I mean, it's like, here's the thing. It's like when you figure out the people that you're meeting are actually becoming your friends. That's what's happening here. And everyone in the room was just cool as shit. I mean, everyone in the room is just my kind of cat. Really. From different backgrounds, we're from different everywhere. And the one thing that we all got in common is it didn't take us long to figure out we like hanging out with each other. And that's awesome. And I thank you all very, very much. So, okay. All right. You ready for Chase Young to sack Trevor Lawrence? Because the 49ers are going to need that. A defensive line becoming a force again. An offense waking up because, Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams are back in the room. Is that about to happen? It certainly needs to, because you're going to Jacksonville Sunday to start the second half of this year. And the price of poker, kids and boys and girls, it's gone up. I mean, all you need to do is look around this league, and you're starting to see the cream separate itself from the rest of that milky center of the NFL. And, this is a massive fork in the road game, as today's thumbnail suggests. This is where you start taking steps towards or away from really being considered a contender. This team, and I really think that this is maybe, arguably, possibly, one of the biggest 4-game stretches of Kyle Shanahan's entire head coaching career right here, right now. And I really look at it And I see a team that has to, bare minimum, go 3-1. 3-1 in their next 4 games. Now, the funny thing is we're going to spend all week getting ready for Jacksonville, and I will stress the importance of this game because Jacksonville is something of an up-and-comer itself. And if the 49ers are going to be considered still a contender, going into Jacksonville, beating the Jaguars would be a bit of a statement. More than a statement than a lot of people assumed that game would be, like when a schedule came out. It's a big game. But of all the games, I mean, if you had to pick one to lose, you might pick that one because the other 3 in the NFC, one of them's in your division, and then one of them is going to be the team that will be hosting the NFC title game because those Eagles look for real, kids. But this is a big one. Tampa Bay at home. I mean, look, that's already a must-win. There's no messing around. You don't go anywhere this year if you drop that game at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At Seattle on Thanksgiving, division game. It feels like should definitely get that done. It'd be great too. At Philadelphia. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear a minute of bragging about what the 49ers are going to do when they get to Philadelphia this time, if Brock stays healthy, this, that, the other. No. Nope. How about this? I'm going to assume the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win that game, and the 49ers are going to need to prove me wrong. The Niners can win their next 3 games. They can beat the Jaguars. They can beat the Buccaneers. They can beat the Seattle Seahawks. I'm still going to predict a loss in Philadelphia until I see it with my own 2 eyes. Okay, that's where we are on the Eagles right now. The Eagles are playing some holy smokes football. There it is, kids. That's a sip of the day right there. That was a good one. That was right. Made coffee a little late this morning, but it cooled down quickly here. So there it is. Sip of the day for all of us. Good stuff. Week 9. Week 9 wraps up with the Chargers at the Jets tonight. And then we move on. Looking back at Week 9, though, a few things became crystal clear. Number 1, the Eagles are the class of the NFC, and there really isn't another team, again, to put in the conversation until somebody really proves that they can go and beat the Eagles from the NFC. Eagles and Cowboys, that's a game of the year candidate. That was a high caliber, high scoring, big boy football game of the first degree. And it was won by the Eagles, not the Cowboys, who were driving late for what could have been a huge, massive come-from-behind win and touchdown, but it wasn't meant to be. And all I can tell you is that there are some truths coming into focus about this Eagles team that you just can't ignore, starting with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a winner. Just full stop, straight up. You can talk about every attribute that you might want to attach to him, physical, mental. He's a winner. Jalen Hurts is a winner. He is now 25-2 over his last 27 starts as a quarterback. In the last 2 games alone, Jalen Hurts accounted for 566 total yards, 7 touchdowns, no turnovers. Since the start of the 2022 season, he's accounted for 37 passing touchdowns, 20 rushing touchdowns, over 6,000 passing yards, over 1,000 rushing yards. He is right now the single best quarterback in the history of the Eagles. He's everything that Donovan McNabb was promised to be. He is. Jalen Hurts is capital S special. And he is, you could apply would he do it on another team? Would he do it without, that offensive line? Would he do it without these wide receivers? Would he do it without a defense, gets him a ball back? Would he do it without the brotherly shove? Here's the thing. He doesn't have to do it without any of that. He's in the situation he's in, and that's the only place he needs to be good. We don't have to run through your mental hurdles to reach the conclusion that Jalen Hurts can play. Straight up baller. So, a little past his prologue. Not that these seasons are connected in any way, shape, or form, but every now and then you can dip into history and find something that might suggest we could know where this goes. And I think we found it right here. The Eagles are 8-1 They're 8-1 this year. For the seventh time in franchise history, they're 8-1, and they have either reached the NFC title game or the Super Bowl in each of those previous instances. So that's who the 8-1 Eagles are. The 8-1 Eagles are historically already in the NFC title game, and will they get to the Super Bowl is a question everyone in Philadelphia is going to be asking themselves for the rest of the year. If they stay healthy, they're going to be a bear, an absolute bear. I see Sporticus is saying Hurts' gimpy knee somewhat worrisome. You know what, dude? That's somewhat worrisome. If you're 8-1 and you got a somewhat worrisome situation, you really don't have much to worry about. Everyone's got a gimpy knee going into week 10. So this is serious. Eagles are really good. Really good. So that is, I think, a message that needs to just be spoken down in Santa Clara. And look, the Eagles are not going to sneak up on the Niners. The Eagles, the Niners know who they are, should know who they are. I think we're all finding out who they are. The news from week 9 that did break the 49ers' way is the fact that the Seahawks and the Rams both got blasted this weekend, so that broke well for the 49ers. A couple of other things around the NFL. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins in Germany. Kansas City is now your legit AFC frontrunner once again. Oh, but it might be the Jaguars, and it might be. Oh, it's, Aaron Rodgers with the... No, not quite. Oh, but the Buffalo Bills, it's their time. I don't know. Baltimore Ravens. We'll see if we don't hear from the Baltimore Ravens before the year is over. But all I can tell you is that the Chiefs are still the team to beat, and the team that they just beat, the Dolphins, who everyone wants to tell you, do you know that they haven't beat a team with a winning record yet? Do you know that they haven't beat a team? Did you know that the Dolphins have not beat a team with a winning record? Mike McDaniel hasn't beat a team with a winning record so far this season, and the Dolphins have got a lot of good things, but they haven't beat a team. Folks, it's the NFL. All these teams are good. Even the bad teams are good. The Dolphins are good. The Dolphins are really good. So I don't think we're done hearing from them. But that was a bit of a slobber knocker over in Germany. The most impressive debut anywhere, and to me, the guy, he's not going to win an MVP, comeback player, and nothing or anything like that. But to me, Josh Dobbs should win that dude is a straight-up gangsta award, because he's someone who got traded to a situation in Arizona, which was a terrible situation. He gets there, practices for 3 days, and is actually making Arizona roar just a little bit at the beginning of the year. Now they've fallen off greatly. And Arizona didn't even want to be good this year. They traded for Josh Dobbs. He was good, and they didn't even want that. So Kirk Cousins then tears his ACL. It's a torn Achilles. They send him to Minnesota without practicing, without getting to know anybody's names. He's looking at jersey numbers out there. He gets to spend like 2 days with the coaching staff going over the most rudimentary portion of the playbook, and he is leading the Minnesota Vikings on a game-winning drive when it's all said and done. Josh Dobbs, maybe the single most earned my respect, more than I would have ever assumed they would have had it, player in sports this year. Look, forget about just the NFL. Josh Dobbs is just, he shows up in situations that are built to be bad situations, and he makes the best of them. And if you can't respect that, I don't even know what you want to be watching. That is some real big boy, I'm an actual quarterback stuff. And I'm impressed. I really am. You got to be really impressed with CJ Stroud. Look, the Texans got themselves a stud of a young quarterback who yesterday threw for 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions to beat the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers played pretty damn well in that game. Baker Mayfield played a clean game. Buccaneers aren't good, but they aren't bad either. And that's what's coming up next after the Jaguars. They're coming up for the 49ers. So, keep an eye on the Buccaneers there. But, dude, CJ Stroud, like Ohio State has officially produced an NFL quarterback. And it's not Justin Fields yet. Maybe it will be. I don't know. CJ Stroud, he's having a year that could get him a Pro Bowl nomination. That's how good he's been his first year in this league. So just really, really, really good player. Very impressive. We want to always say thank you so much to our friends. My friend, your friend, a man just giving delicious sandwiches to the world. Ike of Ike Sandwiches. I don't know if you've got an office party coming up. Check out Ike's Catering. If you do, send us a picture. If you're ordering a sandwich for yourself or your whole office, we want to share it. We want to spread the word that my man Ike is serving up something delicious each and every day from over 100 locations now. And it's growing, baby, like the Plus. Ike's grows, the Plus grows. We are helping each other grow. The legends grow. And your belly might grow a little bit because it's so full of delicious Ike sandwiches, and you won't regret that at all. You won't regret that at all. Get yourself an Ike sandwich. Do it today, do it tomorrow, do it this week, and send me a picture when you do it. Look, I want to thank Uncle Boys for coming out yesterday. It was great to see you, John. I hope you felt the love in the room. And I tell you, there was a lot of love to be felt in that room. The way people support each other in this community is something special. It really is. You know, Kruger showing up to support me. Your guys are showing up to support me. Sponsors showing up to support me. You're showing up to support the sponsors. You're eating at Ike's. You are going to Uncle Boys. And guess what? Uncle Boys not only has its Balboa location over in the inner Richmond, but they're also now running the kitchen at the Union Street pub, the little Rathskeller. You got to walk down into the Union Street pub. My man's running the kitchen over there, so you can get an Uncle Boys over on Union Street now. And I'm just so happy to see him growing and doing well. And the amount of love that we get for Uncle Boys sponsoring the Michael Urban Good for Ball, Bad for Ball segment every Friday, it means an awful, awful lot to me. By the way, on Saturday night, I hosted a Hilltop Club name, image, and likeness dinner for the University of San Francisco. As an awful lot of you know, Michael Urban went to the University of San Francisco, played baseball there. His father was at my table. And the last time I saw Michael Urban's father, he was eulogizing his son at Michael's funeral. What a stoic, honorable, from a time when men were men, man, Mr. Urban truly is. And he gave me his card. He is putting together a Kickstarter, or not a Kickstarter, but a GoFundMe, whatever those are, to help raise money for Michael's daughter's college funds. And I will be sharing that with you this week. And all I know is that an awful lot of the people that I met yesterday, and a whole bunch of you whom I haven't met yet, would be interested in helping that cause out. So I'll be sharing that information with you a little bit later on this week. It was a very busy weekend. I'll be in touch with the Urbans and get the right information. If you'd like to donate to his daughter's college funds, I know that I certainly would like to. Jillian would like to. And I know many of you would too. So we will share you that information with you when we have it. And one more thing, when I moved to San Francisco, I fell in love with Sutro Tower. I just thought that is one of the coolest looking sticks I've ever seen. And of course, it is directly tied to broadcasting. I used to be a broadcaster in another life and pretend to still be here on the internet. So I've always loved Sutro Tower to the point where it's part of the logo of the show. This t-shirt is only available at jaxsf.com. If you'd like to go out and peruse the entire vintage collection, the unique t-shirts that they have there that you won't find anywhere else. They got a brick and mortar on Chestnut Street. But jaxsf.com is where you can look at all the cool t-shirts that they have and use promo code DamonBruce10 for 10% off. So thanks indeed to our sponsors. And I'll just be upfront and honest with you. Bottom Line Bets signed up for half the football season to the bye week. And we made the decision we're not going to be going forward together because he's doing very well and his other media pushes, and is using a whole bunch of sexy ladies, which I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a sexy lady, that are getting great response. And so my man Stefan is a friend of mine, and he was there for me and stepped up and answered the bell with Bottom Line Bets, but as no longer an official sponsor of the show, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking for a good handicapping service, go to bottomlinebets.com. I'm going to be indebted and grateful to Stefan really forever for counting on me to help launch his now officially growing and doing very well handicapping service. So thanks so much to Stefan, and cheers to him for all of the support. We move on. Are we ready? Are we ready? Look, I can't talk about the game with any authority because it happened while we were all at the bar yesterday having fun and talking with each other. And we were certainly watching the Cowboys and Eagles game. I only really caught that Warriors game out of the corner of my eye. I saw the whole thing was kind of like an uphill battle for the Warriors. I don't have any specifics to share with you necessarily, other than it's the front half of a back-to-back. Disappointing to see the Warriors lose. Cleveland is pretty good. That breaks their winning streak. But I couldn't help but notice when I looked through some of the box score to see who did what, at least numerically, not that the box score tells you everything you need to know about a game, Trace Jackson Davis was a team-high +8 in 12 minutes. I saw that. And that brings me to something that I do want to talk about with a little bit of authority, because I do think I'm an authority on the subject. And I've gotten into a back and forth on Twitter with a few people about the strategy that was Trace Jackson Davis's road trip didn't begin in Oklahoma City. He was sent to Santa Cruz for a couple days of practice because, they decided that was going to be best for him. Brandon Pajemski was in the same boat. But Trace Jackson Davis got sent to Santa Cruz and then got recalled right before the game and is with the team for the back-to-back. And I even got, not into it, but as I was saying, this is ridiculous. This is the wrong thing to be doing with him. Even Raymond Ritter, who follows me on Twitter, was like, hey, this isn't an indictment on the guy. It's just we thought that him getting a couple practices in, because we really don't practice on the road, would be better for him as this season moves along. And I understand why the Warriors feel that way. And I'm here to tell you definitively, they're wrong. They are wrong. And Draymond Green knows that they're wrong. And Draymond said, we need to get these kids up here. They provide energy and we like having them around. And all I can tell you is that last year's entire theme was how disconnected the team is. A good way to disconnect the interest of a young player is to take them off the team and send them to Santa Cruz. There's no one who hears you're going to Santa Cruz for a weekend and thinks, oh, that's great. That's going to give me an opportunity to become a better pro than just remaining on the NBA team will give me. No one thinks that way. And the Warriors, look, they got a little bit of a blind spot when it comes to developing young talent. Now, guess what Trace Jackson Davis is? To you and me, yes, young talent. But to NBA, he's not young. He's a 23-year-old man. And Trace Jackson Davis has played more basketball at Indiana with pressure and high level, just everything on him, than anybody in the G League has played anything worth a damn. And they're not even playing games down there yet. Just sending, look, here's my point on Trace Jackson Davis. He's a grown man. He's fundamentally sound. And there is no amount of, he had 6 really good hours of practice in Santa Cruz, that is going to be better for him than dinner with Draymond Green, sitting on a flight next to Steph Curry, learning the league through the lens of Hall of Famers' eyes, hanging out with Klay Thompson, getting to know Kevon Looney, having Steve Kerr in his ear and Bruce Frazier. Trace Jackson Davis is an NBA player, full stop. Quit fucking around and don't send him back to Santa Cruz ever again. I even saw, I wrote back as Raymond was like trying to explain to me while it happened. I wrote back, I'm like, sure, don't ever do it again. He's like, oh, I'm sure we'll do it again. That's the luxury of having a G League team. Here's the luxury of having an actual developed rookie who's an adult. You can play him. Do you think Trace Jackson Davis is going to get better in a layup line in Santa Cruz You're out of your minds, Golden State Warriors. I've watched this franchise have an incredible amount of success at the top, and I've watched them fuck up just about every rookie that came through in some way or another. Trace Jackson Davis is not Alan Smilageach. This isn't Jacob Evans. This is a kid who's ready to play in the NBA. He's ready to play right now. He's ready to play tonight. And I'm going to tell you, I'd actually like to see him get a start over Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, look, Andrew Wiggins will always be good enough to never dismiss. He is good, but he will always lack an element of inspiration that makes you think, yeah, I'm totally bought into this guy and the way he plays every night. Andrew Wiggins is the most Canadian thing on a basketball court possible. He really is. He's gotten off to a completely unnoticeable start this year. He's not making the team worse, but he's really not helping it get better in so many situations. And I think should be an absolute candidate to get his full attention by sending his ass to the bench. You know, you're not starting tonight, Andrew Wiggins. You got paid. You got your money. And right now, you got to get better. You got to get a rebound. You got to play better, man. You got to have some dog in you. Andrew Wiggins is a really good player. But you know what? Jonathan Kuminga is playing his dick off. Dario Saric is someone who when I see him, I don't want to see less of Dario Saric. Trace Jackson Davis, give him a start. Why not? Why not? Every single time he's on the court, he's looking at a plus and he's making plays. And I know he missed some free throws in Cleveland, but dude, Trace Jackson Davis is ready. Send Andrew Wiggins' ass to Santa Cruz. See if that gets his attention. I hate passive NBA players. I hate someone who is built to jump out of a gym and dunk on the world, who isn't constantly jumping out of the gym, dunking on the world and grabbing rebounds everywhere. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Warriors, Pistons to this evening, 4:00 tip-off because the game's in Detroit. And all I can tell you is that I've already heard some sound bites of how, Klay Thompson's really excited to see James Wiseman, and they always like James Wiseman. And he's going to have to meet him before or after the game because James Wiseman probably doesn't play. James Wiseman has been a coach DNP, but for every game this year except for one, where he picked up 4 fouls and 6 minutes. James Wiseman can't play in the NBA. He probably won't play tonight. It's, I'm not ragging on the guy. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not celebrating his failure, but James Wiseman is not an NBA player according to the Detroit Pistons. Not me. Not you, not the Warriors. Not because he doesn't know how to assimilate himself into a championship core. No dog. No dog. You can't be that big, have that much skill, and just be a walking, talking coach DNP. You get into a game and all you are is a human foul. What is that? What the hell is that? So we got a couple more things. Let me give you a live update. Oh, how about this? Total subscribers to the Plus right now at this very minute stands at 8,895. I need 5 of you who are not subscribing to subscribe right now. 5 of you. I'd love to get to 8,900 today. That would make me very happy as I go off to lunch a little bit later on. 8,900. Give it to me, baby. And it's just 5 more people. If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, hopefully everyone has hit that like button. Make that algorithm lovey-lovey. 5 more subscribers. Get me to 8,900 and get this week off on a good note. I've already come to grips that we're not going to be reaching 10,000 by Thanksgiving. That was a very aggressive goal. But again, if you want to reach the stars, you at least got to shoot for the moon, or maybe it's the other way around. In order to reach the moon, you got to shoot for the star. Either way, we're not going to get to the goal, probably, unless something overwhelming happens. Maybe we'll have a Plus subscription marathon or something. Oh my God, he's in his 18th consecutive hour. No, I'm not doing that. I got kids. But go ahead, please hit that like button, hit that notify button if you are subscribing. And if you're not subscribing and watching now, boop, one button. That's all you got to do. Boop. That would mean an awful lot. Thank you so much. We're 5 away. We have 5 more by the end of our show today. We are going to hop into Club Plus here in just a little bit. Hopefully I haven't missed any super chats or anything like that. Well, I've been rambling. I'm going to kind of scroll up here, see where we are. I think we're okay. We continue. We continue with the news that Steve Kerr has said that Paris is going to be his last hurrah with the U.S. men's Olympic team, which kind of sucks, you know? I mean, for me, because here was what I wanted to do this year. Jillian and I, we got engaged in Paris, and we kind of made a promise that we will go back to Paris for the 2024 Olympics, because there's never going to be a time in my career where I'm going to know like 2 or 3 guys that are on the team and be very friendly with the actual head coach himself. Now, the layoff has changed our financial picture quite a bit, so we have to break that promise to ourselves. Jillian and I will not be going to the Paris Olympics. We will not be going to hang out with Steve Kerr and Team USA in Paris, which I'm sure I would have had some access, very special access granted, just based on this great relationship I've always had with Steve Kerr. That's not going to happen. And I thought, well, maybe the next Olympics after that. Well, there aren't going to be a next Olympics after that for Steve Kerr, who, when asked if he would coach Team USA after the Paris Games, he said bluntly to The Athletic, no. To me, it's a 2-year. It's a cycle. Pop coached a World Cup and the Olympics. Now it's my turn to pass the baton. And that's how I kind of think it should be. Frankly, it's a huge commitment too, he said. And there's no doubt about that. Look, Steve Kerr is in his last season under contract with the Warriors. And I don't think that it's going to be his last year as a head coach. That would surprise me. I think he is going to be tied to Steph Curry, and the both of them will kind of go walking off into the sunset together. I'd be surprised if anything other than that happened. But the burnout that Steve Kerr has to be feeling has got to be real. I mean, Bob Myers, a younger man in an arguably night-by-night, much less stressful situation, he burnt out as general manager of the Golden State Warriors and decided it's time for me to get off this train. Kerr, the insane amount of games that he's coached, all the high-leverage pressure that comes with all those playoff games and all those NBA Finals appearances, and then all the parades, those are pressure too. And then, you know, a World Cup. He's already been on the, he's already done an Olympics. And like, that guy deserves an off season now and again. And he's had so few natural, normal off seasons because of either what the Warriors have succeeded at or what he's done with Team USA as its head coach. All I can tell you is thank you, Steve Kerr. You everything you do, you represent everything so very, very well. And if this really is his last time around, and I do believe it is, I don't blame him. I mean, that man has punched an awful lot of clocks as a basketball coach since ascending to head basketball coach of the Golden State Warriors. Eric Spoelstra's got to be the next man up, right? Eric Spoelstra? It's got to be. It's got to be. Or maybe, maybe they'll just tap back into Bloomington and get Mike Woodson. If they went college coach, it would probably be Mark Few, who's already been on Steve Kerr's bench and has Olympic experience. I believe Spoelstra has been Kerr's chief assistant. So it feels like Spoelstra is the next man in line to be tapped as Team USA head basketball coach, and rightfully so. He'll be great at that. He'll be great at that. A man who was not great at it got fired over the weekend, and that was USC's defensive coordinator. Don't even forget his name. Doesn't matter anymore because he gave up yards and points like a strainer. And for the very first time since Lincoln Riley took over the Trojans program, they've fallen out of the top 25. If you told me that with a defending Heisman Trophy winner, as the Pac-12 is dissolving, it would be USC falling out of the top 25 this year, I would have said, no way. But they don't want to play defense. And when you don't want to play defense as a football team, you kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Blow. And the Trojans can score with everyone, with anyone. They can't stop anything. They can't stop anything. So, au revoir, shitty defensive coordinator. Again, if I'm going to be adopting USC going forward at the risk of my own marriage, I need a defense. Maybe it's not too. Maybe it is time I start thinking about Oregon or Washington being my new Big Ten team because I just can't root for the Hoosiers anymore. And of course, once I say that, Indiana actually went out and beat Wisconsin. But I don't even think they beat Wisconsin this last week. And as much as Wisconsin was unable to complete a forward pass through no fault of Indiana's defense, their backup quarterback is just bad. But Indiana got a Big Ten conference win. Enjoy it. It's the only one they're going to see this year. Before we slip over into Club Plus, we got a little baseball news for you. Would you like a Cody Bellinger? If you'd like a Cody Bellinger, you can have a Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger opted out, leaving $25 million player option on the table in Chicago to test free agency. Now, look, he might even be back with the Cubs. He was good this year. Cody Bellinger had a really good year, and he's still only 29 years old. And remember, this is a guy who started with 3 outstanding award-given seasons to his career, and then he started to taper off, and then he completely fell off to the point where, like, people were saying, well, like, what? Was he on steroids and now he's not taking them? Like, what the hell happened? He hurt his shoulder. But this is a level of drop-off that is abstract, even in terms of normal, you can't be great every year kind of baseball drop-offs. Cody Bellinger went from, hey, this young stud can play, to why can't Cody Bellinger play? Well, he gets to Chicago this year. He has a very good year. And he is going to, bet on himself, and test free agency. So Cody Bellinger, if you want a Cody Bellinger, you can have a Cody Bellinger in your outfield this year, and that goes for anybody in baseball. By the way, a couple of subscribers come in. Now we're only 3 away from 8,900. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe you want to subscribe to Club Plus when you see how funky it gets and Disco Face starts lighting up. The other bit of baseball news is that Stephen Vogt has become a manager. He's been hired by the Cleveland Guardians. There were a lot of people who thought that Stephen Vogt might be the right guy to take over for Gabe Kapler, but Bob Melvin was the choice, a choice that I got no regrets on. I like Bob Melvin an awful lot. I think he's the right guy for the job, but Stephen Vogt doesn't need another year of seasoning as someone's bench manager or whatever. He is a major league manager, and the I believe in Stephen Vogt chant was just a great chant that you'd hear over in Oakland, and good for Stephen Vogt. There isn't a single person out there that doesn't have respect for that guy, his career, the way he goes about his business. So good for Stephen Vogt, and we'll see what he does as a manager. So to everyone who listens to the podcast, I want to say thank you. If the podcast led you to Plus Mania 2 Electric Boogaloo, it was wonderful to meet you. The podfather himself, Benjamin Shapiro, was there. What a help he has been. Just One Joey, who recorded the afternoon and will be producing a beautiful video and got a lot of your testimonials. I know that I owe a deep debt of gratitude to him as well. My man Carl Buszczyk showed up, and Carl has been a puppeteer pulling all sorts of strings to help me find the videos that I need to put out and share with you that are cut from the live shows that we do. And he has been a tremendous amount of help. Carl showed up yesterday. And to all of you who showed up yesterday, I don't care what led you there, you got there. And it was such an honor to have you there. Thank you so very, very much. Again, people who aren't all over the chat have still, some of you never missed a download or a show, and it was just great. I mean, really great to finally meet so many of you yesterday. Thank you to meet so many of you yesterday. Again, we're becoming all fast friends. AJ, sorry I called you Ernie. There was an abnormal amount of Ernies, and I guess that's how I want to leave you today. Thank you so very much, and please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. How about Waylon just DJing yesterday for us? Waylon, who runs Victory Hall, thank you so much, man. I freaking love that guy. You know, there's just some people you meet and you know right away, like, I'm going to get along with this person. Waylon and I, the minute we walked in there for our first lunch together, I'm like, this dude, me, we're good. We're good. And he has opened up the doors of Victory Hall for us and made us so welcome. Thank you, my friend. Thanks again. And when it comes to spinning wax, he spun more wax yesterday than a kid with dirty ears. It was great. It was great. Yeah. Krugs wanted to tell a story on my way out. I almost missed my ride. Oh, look, all I can tell you is that when Larry gets going, it's you have to like slowly back away. There's an awful lot of stuff that Larry will just keep going and going and going and going on. That's why I love him, man. That's why I love him. So fun to work with. And everyone really liked meeting Larry. An awful lot of people got to meet Larry for the first time yesterday, and that was great. Old Dirty Hungus says, I remember meeting Herbs when I was struggling with alcohol. He gave me his cell and told me to call him anytime I needed him. That's all you need to know. As I was going through my layoff, and in the timing of my layoff, and in the timing that Michael left us, he was in a very dark place mentally. But that never stopped Michael Urban from reaching out to me to try to inspire me, to try to let me know how good he thought I was and how much he believed in me. And it was just, I mean, the things that Michael said while he was going through his darkest hour, it just left a profound feeling in my life. I mean, it's so sad when you think back of all those times you could have given someone flowers, but you just didn't hand them to them for whatever reason. So it was great to see so many of you yesterday and get together and hand each other flowers. It really, really was. I pinned some messages from earlier. How about this? Now, Danny, he lives in Arizona, so he can't make it just like blowing into Club Plus, no problem. I hopped on Caltrain, I got a BART ride or anything like that. I hopped in an Uber and met you, Damon. He lives in Arizona. Right now, he's on vacation in Venice. Dude, go out, go to a bar, stop watching the internet. You're in Venice, unplug your phone, and we'll see you when you get back. Go eat a big plate of pasta for me, Danny. Thank you so much. Otis Bird, it was so great to see you yesterday. It was awesome to meet you in person finally. I told Otis, I said, you're a big reason why this thing grew quickly, because you're basically the Pied Piper of a whole bunch of sports talk radio chat rooms, and you started playing your flute and said, come follow me over to Damon's channel, and it means an awful lot that you did. It also means you have great taste in hosts, which we also discussed and implicitly. Yosarian, Great hanging out. He was great meeting Postman and Capitola. Stacy Leo was there. Again, Stacy brought her son, who's like, what the hell, Mom, why do you like this guy? Well, he didn't understand it, but he was awesome. Miles, thank you for coming out yesterday. It was just great to see so many people that we've been getting to know through this whole thing. Sam Bruno, Mike, Plus fam. Yesterday was so fun. Great seeing you guys in the flesh again. We'll do it again. Like I said, Delbert Davis, like every now and then, maybe we'll see him pop up in here and he'll say a little something, but Delbert is not a huge in the chat room guy, but he watches every day. Delbert, it was great to meet you, man. Thank you for coming out. Thank you again to Stacy. So good to see you. To my man, Postman and Capitola, seriously, pulled me away with a list of things that he wanted to talk about that he's been listening for so long. That was just, it was one of the most flattering conversations I have ever had. When you realize, like, okay, so this isn't just a listener. Like, this is someone who is really, really connected with me through the radio and the show. It's just so humbling. Ricky yesterday came out with his 12-year-old daughter. He's like, this girl has grown up with you in the car, and we miss you in the car when we're riding home from school. And this is adorable. 11, 12-year-old girl was like, I love the Tuesday trifecta. That was so much fun. I mean, it's just amazing. Truly humbling, truly awesome. And I thank you so much. I really do. Just incredible meeting everyone. Oh, cough of the day. You got one there. Talking about Trace Jackson Davis, saying Santa Cruz has good corn dogs, though. Again, another reason not to send him there. Trace Jackson Davis is really working on his diet. Where's his diet going to be better served? How about around a team that has a chef preparing meals for the team and monitoring nutrition things all the way through? Again, Trace Jackson Davis there's nothing to be offered him with a G League game, a G League rep, a G League practice. Having breakfast with Draymond Green in Oklahoma City is more important to Trace Jackson Davis than any practice he will have all year. And you want to talk about connectivity? How do you keep a team connected? Keep them at the same table together. Keep them on the same flights together. Keep breaking bread together. That's how you get to know people. That's how you bond with people. So there you go. Got to make those free throws, though. Hey, don't have to tell me, Drew. Don't have to tell me. Again, why send him down there if he's not even playing yet? I would, again, for open gym practice. You know, Trace Jackson Davis, if he still wanted to dunk on not ready for the NBA 19 years olds, he could have stayed in college. Actually, I think he was out of eligibility. Again, of course he was out of eligibility. I think he started 121 games. Dude, when you graduate as one of the all-time most prolific scorers and rebounders in Big Ten history, you officially outrank the G League. Now, I can't speak on definitive authority as to what Brandon Pajemski is or isn't, how much run in the G League could help a guy like that. He's younger. I'm just talking about Trace. Trace doesn't need that bullshit. You know, nothing should be beneath him. It's not beneath him. He's better than that, which I guess makes it beneath him. Smiley Geach. Thank you, R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Poor Smiley Geach and Jacob Evans catching strays. Look, I'm just saying, there are some guys who come into the league, and as soon as they get there, you're like, these guys aren't NBA players. And there are other guys, when they get to the league, as soon as you see them, you're like, oh, that guy's an NBA player. Do the Warriors know what they're looking at in Trace Jackson Davis? If not, let me help. He's an NBA player. Don't ever dick around and send him to Santa Cruz ever again. Smiley Dan, good to see you, brother. We talked about some second set fish shows. He was part of the group that stepped outside for a safety meeting. Very important safety meeting. I learned a lot. G. Martinez, we have to wait for playoff wigs. Yeah, then that means he's a pussy. Dude, if I got to wait for the timing to be right for you to play hard, that sucks. That sucks. The game is on. Ball goes up. Clock is ticking and the score is being kept. Grab a rebound. That's it. So if I don't need Andrew Wiggins to score 30 points. I need rebounds. I need on-ball defense. I need the right rotation defensively. That's what I need from Andrew Wiggins. You know, I think one of the reasons why the Warriors lost a little bit of their bite is because they sold themselves on, all that matters is the playoffs and we can just kind of sleepwalk through the regular season. Yeah, teams, I don't think teams should be doing that or affording themselves that luxury anymore. By the way, 2 subscribers away. 2. There's 136 people sitting in the room right now. No way all 136 of you are subscribers. 2 of you, just 2 of you subscribe. Get me to 8,900 before the end of today's show. That would make me happy. And look, you can subscribe and just decide, I don't want to watch again. But just go ahead and subscribe. What is it? Game and Money TV. Andrew Wiggins is the one girl that's good as everything but can't cook? Well, I don't know. I don't even know. Is he good at everything? Is he that well of an all-rounded player? Andrew Wiggins is good. Again, he's just good enough to not discount him, but he's bad enough to not ever be inspired by him ever. You know, I just want more. Just care a little bit more. Play a little bit harder. Chef A, again, love you. Poor James Wiseman. Dude, he's some guys aren't cut out for the NBA. In spite of the fact they were born with a kiss on their forehead from basketball God saying, I'm going to put you in a body that very few human beings will ever be placed into. Look, it is readily apparent that the rumors that he never loved the game that came from high school. Andrew Wiggins doesn't love basketball, and maybe it's an Andrew Wiggins thing too. I don't know. But James Wiseman doesn't love basketball was a story that was about him coming out of high school. He goes to Memphis and, you know, the eligibility got a little cockeyed. Well, maybe that's the way he wanted it because he really doesn't love basketball, but he's going to get drafted. Like he can't not get drafted. I don't think the guy loves basketball. I just think he was born to play, so he knows that, all right, well, I've got an advantage on the rest of the planet here. I might as well cash that in. I got a winning lottery ticket body, but I don't think he's going to see a third NBA contract. Not never. Ernie, one of our many Ernies. Ernie Chavez says, Wiseman watch, over under 1.5 minutes. Maybe he gets like just it's the Warriors, so we're going to give you a few minutes. But look, to bet on him getting anything other than a coach DNP means you haven't been looking at the game logs. The Detroit Pistons do not factor Andrew Wiseman into a single thing, or Andrew Wiseman. Boy, that is a Freudian slip, is it not? First of all, Andrew Wiggins is a billion times the NBA player than James Wiseman will ever be. Let's get that perfectly clear. No more jokes needed there. But James Wiseman is not in any plans that the Detroit Pistons are making. James Wiseman. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Didn't, doesn't, won't. 49er Ultimate Report says 9K just around the corner. Yeah, hopefully, again, 2 subscribers. Who's it going to be? 2 subscribers. We're at 8,898. 2 away from me being a very happy boy. Wally Lama says, you'd get like 10,000 if the Niners did their part. I'd definitely get 10,000 if they could play the Dallas Cowboys every week. But look, yes, Niners continue to be right in the center of attention. This is where, I think a lot of content creators that only talk about one sport probably see if that one sport is football between the months of, the end of February or wherever their football team that they create content for ends and next football season comes around, they probably dip down in an awful lot of attention and coverage and exposure. We got the Golden State Warriors coming up too. And man, if there was one request that was made of me by several listeners who were at Plus Mania 2 Electric Boogaloo last night was, we come to you because you started in Bay Area sports, but we're much more interested in what you think now about everything. So what you're going to see is, I think, as we slip on over into the end of year 1, beginning of year 2 here on the Plus, we're going to be, I don't want to say less Bay Area because I always intend to cover the Bay Area first and foremost. And do it well. But there's going to be an awful lot more other things coming up here on the channel. I mean, the most successful video that I put out over the weekend wasn't about like, oh, isn't it nice to have a bye week about the Niners? No, it was a video about Victor Wembanyama. Another video that came out over the weekend featured Good Damon and Evil Damon. There were a lot of requests for more Evil Damon. Careful what you ask for, everyone. Postman Capitola. How about 10,000 by the end of the year? Oy, oy, oy! I mean, I do. I think that. Send it in, Jerome! I think that that's realistic. I think we can get there by the end of the year. To get about like 700 subscribers a month. That's kind of what we're picking up. At least that's what we're tracking. So that could happen. And that will make me happy. East Bay Ricardo, like it, like it, like it. Like it, like it. Indeed. Oh, Dr. Jazzhand says, Damon, I proposed in Paris too, this April. Congratulations. Congratulations. Both of us might be guilty of a cliche move, but it's the most romantic cliche move that you can get. It really is. There's something about that Eiffel Tower, man. You hit a knee in front of the Eiffel Tower, you're getting a yes. That's just the way it goes. I don't know if any single woman has been standing by the Eiffel Tower, man on his knee, ringing a box, and been like, nah, I don't think that. Game and Money TV says, Damon, you should have more subs. You're the best in the Bay. No filter, wrong cut, pre-dope. Thank you very much. Puro. We give it to you, puro. These other chumps are stepping on it. Puro. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Randall. Again, there's not a name I've seen often on here. Randall, welcome. Thank you very much. Love coming thinking I'm going to hear about the 49ers and I get basketball and baseball. Well, look, what are you going to do here, Randall? We got ourselves no game to recap. We kind of went over what happened in the NFL, and it's Jaguars week. We're going to get right back into it. But here we are Monday talking about everything that happened over the weekend. The only thing the Niners did over the weekend was calisthenics. What do you want me to tell you? Recap the game they didn't play? Max McGloin says calling teams a failure because they don't win a Super Bowl is wrong-headed. Winning the division and conference should be regarded as an important achievement. That is true of all sports. Until you do it a few years in a row, and then it's time to take the next step. And then if you don't, it's a failure. Look, This is what's going on. The Niners need to win the Super Bowl this year or next year, or they are back to the drawing board with a we got to put this roster together differently situation. This is the window. Here it is. Now, I believe you that saying that any team that didn't win a Super Bowl is a failure, but the Niners are standing on that front porch. They've been knocking on the door. You can't go to that many NFC title games. You can't appear in a Super Bowl and then try to get back there and be shut out. An NFC title game lost this year would mean mission unaccomplished. Now, you'll never hear me be the guy that says they lost an NFC title game, therefore everyone needs to be fired. Those are the morons out there. That's the overreactor. But we need standards. And the standard is right now, at this moment of Kyle Shanahan's tenure, as the team is constructed, it is now time. Now time, Max. They've been knocking on the door far too long. NFC West champions, I ain't throwing a parade for that. Danny on vacation with a family in Venice. We went over this. Danny, go back to vacation. I love you. I love the loyalty. Maybe because your IP address is pinging over in Italy, my international growth will be reflected in some percentage, and I'll be big in Italy this month. But all I can tell you, Danny, enjoy that family vacation. Phone down, internet down. Don't use your phone to do anything but take pictures, record some family videos, unplug from the Matrix. Viva la Venice. I've never been to Venice. Heard that's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Jason Kidd would be a good coach for Team USA basketball. Wouldn't be bad. I'd rather see, if it weren't Spoelstra, Ty Lue be up next. Tyronn Lue feels like a guy who could be the coach of Team USA basketball, command an awful lot of respect. Mike Brown of the Sacramento Kings. Mike Brown could be a name that gets bandied about before it's all said and done. Irwin, somewhere, Jillian is cheering at USC's demise. Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt. Baron Red, don't choose University of Spoiled Children. Well, it would be just like me the year that I hop on the bandwagon that the entire program forgets how to play defense. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the mush. Maybe any team that I decide I root for is just a kiss of death. Indiana is just, I need something. I need something. I need an overlord. I need an absolute. I need a bully. I'm tired pulling for the little engine that could. I need the gigantic bully that did on my college football Saturdays. Maybe I need Oregon. Maybe I need Washington. I don't know. Can't be UCLA. Can't be. Just can't be. Michigan, never. Ohio State, never. I can't. Again, it's got to be a new member of the Big Ten on the West Coast that I feel good about. I'm tired. I'm tired of rooting for a whole bunch of that ain't going to happen. Yosarian says, subscribe. And you know what? 3 you have. 8901. We've passed 8,900. Thank you very, very much. Joe Schmo saying, I believe in Steven, vote. I believe in Steven, vote. Vince Vargas, I believe in Steven, vote. La Profesora, who, by the way, was attending some family business, couldn't make it. She was at Plus Mania 1, had to move Plus Mania 2, hopefully be at Plus Mania 3. So, by the way, so it was Plus Mania 1, and then it was Plus Mania 2, Electric Boogaloo. Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. I might be Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. Revenge what? I don't know. Plus Mania 3, Empire Strikes Back. But that's 2, so no, it can't be that. But we'll be incorporating movie titles into all of these. All right, what else we got going on here? Dude, well, seriously, we had Ernie's everywhere. Ernie's everywhere. Wait a minute. Chef A? It's your birthday? How do you not let us know that yesterday was your birthday, Chef A? We would have absolutely sung happy birthday. Chef A, happy birthday. You know what? Birthday bottle pull coming up. Birthday bottle pull for Chef A. Chef A gave Jillian and I a tin of all that delicious toffee chocolate nutty brittle that she makes. She passed out goodie bags. We had people passing out goodie bags. We had Rice Krispie treats. By the way, there were definitely less Rice Krispie treats at the end of the night in that goodie bag for everybody, because I saw that when the safety meetings happened, a lot of people started testing those Rice Krispie treats, as one does after a safety meeting. Happy birthday, Chef A. Cheers. Bottle pull for you, Chef A. And again, if there were 3 pounds of brittle in that tin, there's only 1.5 pounds left. Jillian and I tore that up when we got home. Everyone wish Chef A a happy birthday. And how about Kim? Kim, thank you. Thank you so much. Kim Schaefer, Radio Lifer. The fact that you showed up to support me, Kim, means the world, and I thank you so very, very much. Kim Schaefer, cool as fuck, man. Love you, Kim. What else we got going? Waylon played some dope shit, didn't he? Yo, Sarah, yes, he did. He absolutely did. And I liked that it all came on wax. There wasn't a CD at that party. There wasn't a digital download. There wasn't iTunes, press play, not one. Those everything you heard was spun on wax. We keep it real. And here you go. Mrs. Plus herself has joined the ceremony, saying, thank you for coming to Plus Mania yesterday. It was so amazing to see. Look, I hardly talked to Jillian throughout the entire party. Like, I'd look up, see her across the room, we'd wink at each other, and she is just getting to know everybody. And everybody was so excited to finally meet her and be, get to know each other. I mean, it was just awesome watching people getting to know each other. It really, really was. It was just cool. Waylon, the epitome of cool, right, Smiley Dan? Like, I don't know where that guy goes, but when he gets there, he gets down. There's no doubt. There's a buddy of mine, counsel to the Cubs. Craig Counsell? New manager? What's going on? Got a little breaking news here. E. Scott Burns saying Guy Santos is finalizing a 3-year deal with the Warriors. Say it to me, Santos. Try to make it rhyme. Say it to me, Santos. See, don't make me go fish on you. Again, Dr. Jazz Hands, look at you living your best life in the Bay the moment I move out of the Bay. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was you. No, Doc, we love you. Get back here. We'll try to give you a big, long runway. You're a doctor. You can afford to fly in, Dr. Jazz Hands. So maybe Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. How about this? Maybe we'll call it Plus Mania 3, The Jazz Man. Otis Bird say, Damon, appreciate those kind words yesterday. It means a lot. Look, Otis, I can't even tell you how much you mean to us. I can't put into words. what a cool guy you are, and how much you absolutely, just are a Pied Piper of Bay Area sports conversation and interest, and you could be a historian of everything that's happened in Bay Area sports radio. You could write a book. Yeah, Mike came over and was listening to Postman give his list to Damon. It was awesome. Again, that guy knows more about my show and my radio career than I think I even do. And now, thanks to the T-shirt he gave me, I get to pretend I'm the Postman in Capitola. There we go. I love that. Thank you, Postman. Postman with the stickers. Seriously, it's like freaking. It's like a fish show. Stepping outside, trading stickers, smoking weed, listening to great music, getting ready to party. It was great. Eating tasty things. Sporticus, again, Sporticus is in Arizona. Couldn't make the trip, but every day is PL Mania online, baby. Thank you, Sporticus. You're my man. Always have been, always will be. Sporticus has been rocking with me since the days of yore. What else we got? Smiley Dan, greater than Smiley Geach, no doubt. And again, Smiley Dan, he's very interested in safety. I don't know if anyone technically at PL Mania 2 was safer than our man Smiley Dan. And again, if you're just joining us, the Ganja Jar is now brought to you by JJ Raider, who, as far as I'm concerned, will now be known as JJ Ganja. Hey, even though the Raiders picked up a big win over the weekend, right? Kinda. I mean, it's over the New York Giants, who had Daniel Jones tear his ACL there and early in the game, and even with him, they stink anyways. But, good for Antonio Pierce. He needed a feel-good, feel-better football team, and he's got one today. That's what happens. Winning is the ultimate deodorant. And, man, we needed some deodorant down here for the plastic bags. It's like garden bags that JJ Raider, look at it this way. This Ganja Jar is symbolic. There's no way we could fit all of what JJ brought to the party in here. He I don't know if he had it out in the car. Like Jillian said, he just kept on pulling bags out and putting it in a bag. Just baggies. Safety meeting. Haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, baby. The JJ Ganja Jar right there. Look at it this way. I will remove the JJ when I am out of what he gave me. Wait until you see how long this thing stays on the Ganja Jar. And on the day it's over, we'll cry a tear when we remove it. But JJ Raider, my man, saying, I missed that safety meeting. JJ, I don't think there's a lot of safety meetings for you to miss. You could absolutely conduct you might as well be OSHA. You could have a safety seminar from what I gather. JJ Ganja. David says, look, Damon, I wasn't able to make it to the last PL Manias, but I'm hoping to make it to the next one. Look, here's what I know. Like this channel, like the videos, it's going to keep happening. One of the best words to describe me would be relentless. We're not stopping. This train has left the station. It is not stopping, and hopefully there will be a time to hop on when it's right for you. That's all we're hoping for, and we'll find it eventually. Hopefully you will find it too. Again, ton of love, ton of conversations going on here. It's just great. We could spend all day. What do we got? Is Fred Warner? Is Fred Warner is at 12.7? I didn't know Fred Warner was on YouTube, but there you go. So Fred's got Fred's a really interesting guy. I bet he does very, very well. My pal Ike, you're the next Jim Rome, but more than just sports. Well, thank you, Ike. That means an awful lot. It really does. Damon Bruce on boxing. I don't know much about boxing, to be honest with you. I used to be a big boxing guy, but then boxing kind of died. What else is going on here? Smiley. Larry and Damon finally had a 49ers week off, and they chose to spend it with us instead of resting. That stood out to me to be really awesome. Hey, it just felt like the perfect time. And we're awfully glad that you were able to make it and that Larry was able to make it. More importantly, his wife able to make it. I saw Amy and Jillian talking an awful lot. They've both been sports talk radio widowed many times in their lives because Larry and I have been out at events or not home because we're doing something or we're on the air somewhere. So the two of them have an awful lot in common, including two loudmouth husbands. And it was just great to see Larry out there again. He's been incredibly helpful. Purdy harvested crops you got there. Well, thank you, Kim. They really were. This is sweet. Stacy, I need my dose of Damon when I'm on vacation too. Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Again, the fact anyone listens to any of this is it just tickles me pink. The fact that you would do it like on vacation, that's amazing to me. Jillian's officially happy that I'm just bringing USC down. She loves it. She loves us. Yeah, she went to Cal. She is not. She's not on board at all with me getting down with USC. Look, I'm a sucker for Heisman winners and great sweater tits, and she knows that about me. USC had both of those this year. Is this evil Damon having an effect on USC? Erwin, maybe it is. Maybe it is. And thank you for that coffee, by the way. I'll let you know, Erwin, when I'm into your beans. I just opened up a new bag myself. So when I get into those beans that you sent, I will let you know. I'm really looking forward to it, man. $8,900 subscribers. Yeah, look, 8,903 at this point. It grows. It grows. There we go. It's official now. La Profesora has declared it. Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. She's on it. You want to come on in? Are you Plus? We're still going. We're still going. Mrs. Plus just walked on by.
Thank you all for coming yesterday. For those of you who made it, it was really fun. Really appreciated it.
I thought you were coming in here to say something about USC. I really did.
Oh, yeah. Fuck USC.
Mrs. Plus, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, should the show even go on? That feels like a good place to pretty much wrap it up. And I'm going to tell you, instead of going upstairs and making a really quality nutritional choice for what are you going to do for lunch today? I'm going to eat Chef A brittle. I'm eating Chef A brittle for lunch today. It is so Chef A, again, love you. Thank you so much, and happy birthday to you. There's a lot of birthday love coming in for Chef A. Why not? Why wouldn't there be? She's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yosarian, you know what? She is cool as fuck. Yes, she is. And so are all of you. So are all of you. It means an awful lot that you came on out and spent time with us. Thank you so very, very much. It's really, look, I got a lot of confidence, right? I got a lot of self-confidence. I have an irrational amount of self-confidence. There's nothing in my life that has tested my irrational amount of self-confidence than a layoff that I even know I didn't have anything to do with. Like, you get laid off with the #1 show, but you get so much stripped away from you, and the exposure and the access and the paycheck, and it can wear on you. And the only thing I know is that so many of you have felt this in your lives too. There isn't a single person that didn't come up to me and talk about some of the low points and twists and turns in their careers and their lives that they've been through. And that included stories about, being laid off from a job, losing an opportunity, losing a family member. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel told me a story about his sister who passed away, and I'll remember that story that you shared with me for the rest of my life, R.I.P. You are the man. Are we going with JJ Ganjajar? JJ Raider? Yeah, JJ Ganjajar. That's my guy right there. So all I can tell you is that y'all mean an awful lot. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing over here. And I would love to make sure that you're all booked and ready to go to Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. We don't even know when it's going to be yet, but we will. How about this? When Plus Mania 3, The Revenge comes around, it's going to be bigger than 1 and 2 combined. It's going to be a monster. It won't be Godfather 3. It won't be like a huge dud. Let's pretend that never happened. But Plus Mania 2, like it was like Godfather 2. It might have been better than Godfather 1. That's how great Plus Mania 2 really was. Kim noticed this as well. Larry's attempt to get his wife hammered, plowed, either way, pretty hilarious. Yeah, again, there's no doubt who needs to be the adult in the room, and it's Amy in that relationship. Matthew says, I saw the pics on Twitter. It looked awesome. Love that it was on Rich Street again. Look, and again, I want to just say 100%. I love Victory Hall. Waylon, the entire staff there, just treats us phenomenally. The cocktails are great. Everything in there. The food is delicious. The atmosphere is right. It is, it's a cool bar. It's a really, really cool bar. And the fact that they've just made it available to us is just awesome. Just awesome. So thank you very, very much to all of you. All I can tell you is that, what do we got here? Kathy, Pluser for life. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thanks to all of you. Maybe Kathy even makes it. I think she got to fly in from Arizona herself, though, to do that. But man, Revenge of the Plus. That might have to be it officially. Plus Mania 3, Revenge of the Plus. I think we got a name. Oh, there we go. True Blue officially documenting it. Plus Mania 2 better than Plus Mania 1. Sporticus, thank you, man. When one door closes, you're aware of bigger doors available. We wrap up with one more happy birthday to Chef A, and all I'm going to tell you is that we'll be back tomorrow. We got a Warriors game, kind of track and keep an eye on. I don't know if we have to watch any more Sharks hockey for the rest of the year, which is really depressing because it's not even Thanksgiving yet. Holy shit, they're terrible. It's Jaguars week. Starting tomorrow, officially. So get ready. That's coming down. And thank you for getting down with me, the family, with Larry, all yesterday. It was great. And all I got to tell you is that you don't have to go home. But kids, Plusers, for this afternoon, you can't stay here.